Dear diary, so I'm back again today. If you're tuning in, thank you for tuning in. I am finding ways to record so that I can produce a better audio. But it seems like whenever I started talking to myself in this room, my neighbors would be shouting at her kids and her kids would be wailing and the birds would be chirping away very happily. Looks like everybody wants to be in this audio. So yeah. So today I want to review a perfume called Chene by Serge Lutens. Chene is translated into oak. I believe everyone knows about this. It's been talked about. And for me, Chene is a really magical oak forest. According to Frantica, it is woody, it is leathery, aromatic, smoky, and there's some rum spiciness and sweetness. Now I tell you what I get. So when I first wore it in the day, I do get that oak note in the first blast. There is no opening of citrusiness or floral notes. It's just straight away standing right in the middle of the oak forest. Like there are just so many trees around you, and I'm just sitting under this oak tree. And imagine sitting under the oak tree and sniffing the tree bark as the sun bakes the tree. There is this aromatic, dry, wise woodiness just wafting from the skin. But I do get some tiny bit of like this honeyed, moist sap coming from the inside of this tree bark. If you really sniff it to the bone, like I say, sniff it to the inside of this tree bark. I don't get too much of smokiness, as although birch is listed as one of the notes. I don't really get too much of smokiness, but as it develops, I do get a very herbal-ish, honeyed, but not sweet. It's just the texture of this thick, honeyed-like liquid. I would assume that it's I would imagine that it would be the smell of this sap of this tree, and yeah, it's almost beeswaxy, and it doesn't really last that long. It soon develops again, and this time the cedarwood comes out more. It's piney, it is still dry, but it's more prominent of a character of a cedarwood. And as it dries down some more, it goes back to the oak again. This is what happened during the day when I wore it, and when I wore it during the night, it is as if I was taken to another part of this forest, of the woods. It's like I was led by this path that is sided, that both sides lining the path would be the oak trees, and I would just walk along this path to another side of the mountain, which it's all dried, and there would be rocks, and on top of the rocks there would be this yellow looking flowers. It's the immortal, the everlasting flower. Yes, during the night, after the woody oak dry scent, the honeyed texture, but not sweet. It's herbal, it's medicinal. It's not fragrant, but it just has this very calming effect of this floral note, emanating from this immortal. It just more prominent, and it just lasted for so long during the night on my skin. And I really get this immortal because I like this note in Anubis by Papillon's Perfumery, but I didn't buy that perfume Anubis because the immortal flower is short-lived, and it's just covered up by so much spiciness and other leathery aspect. But in this fragrance, Chene, it just it is allowed to shine after the oak note, and It is just so calming. And yeah, there's a little bit of bitterness. I wouldn't assume that everyone would like it. And together with this woodiness, it is almost rum-like, but it's not like a sweet alcoholic rum scent. No, it's not. It's still this very natural, very, it makes me feel like I'm in this surrounding, in this nature surrounding. And oh, oh my goodness, it's just so calming. And as it dried down some more, the next morning that would be okay. The next morning, the immortal will slowly just dries down, and it's as if I just walk along the journey, walk down the hill of this immortal, and then I would come to this plain ground where there would be some kind of woods, but it's not as dense in the beginning. There would be pine trees, and it's just piney and dry as it dries down. Still, I don't get much of a smokiness, but it's just like a walk, an amazing journey, like a very meditative walk throughout this, from the beginning of my journey until the end of this walk in the forest, in the woods. It's just portrayed so nicely, portrayed so, bring it to life. It's brought to life by this perfume Chene. It's transportative. So that's the end of my perfume review for Chene today. If you're tuning into my rambling, thank you again for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.